Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Daily Marvel Snap video. So my mom did not raise a quitter. The last video I released was an attempt to put Negasonic in a list, and I couldn't find anything that didn't feel incredibly gimmicky or worse for having her in it. And then I stumbled across a list that I didn't create, but a list from Safetyblade that is a Sarah, Zabu, Hawk, Negasonic list. And when I tell you that this list feels phenomenal, I went like 72-73% win rate over the course of about 15 total games with this list, and Negasonic was used multiple times in those games, and she didn't feel like a crutch. She felt like an enabler because you can really fight for initiative. Sarah is in this list, but she feels more so as a backup plan, not necessarily your primary playline. And I did say that Safetyblade created this deck. He is another content creator. I will leave a link to his socials, so his Twitter, his YouTube, and his Twitch in the description below. If you want to check him out, he brews a lot of decks. He's kind of a mad scientist when it comes to putting together decks, and somehow finds a way to make them work. So if you like this list, definitely give him a check out as well, because he is the one that put it together. So primarily, the list is a pretty straightforward value list. You're going to be pushing value onto the board, trying to gain initiative in most turns, so that you can set up your Negasonic. This list does a really good job of having the ability to push that power out whenever you need to. So with your players, with your Killmonger, your Juggernaut, you could take away your opponent's power and give yourself that advantage if you're wanting to maybe angle towards using a Negasonic. Negasonic is going to be fantastic against Shuri into Cosmo lanes. So if they Shuri and then Red Skull in a Cosmo lane, but you have initiative, you can drop your Negasonic, you can destroy their big Red Skull, and then you can destroy their hopes and dreams as a result as well, because Taskmaster will no longer function after Red Skull is gone. And so in general, this list is pretty straightforward. You curve into your high power plays. Your Zabu allows you to do your rockslide on 3, which is so much disruption. Absorbing Man is one of those that doesn't feel like he's necessarily core here, but he does have some good use cases. So copying rockslide is huge. Copying Juggernaut is also kind of a sneaky playline that I really enjoyed while testing the deck. You can lock the opponent out of one particular lane for 2 turns on turn 5 and turn 6, and as long as you can overcome that power in another lane, you can still one location away for very, very low power, allowing you to focus all of your power into a secondary lane to try to win that one as well. You have a lot of your good counters in your Killmonger, your Shang-Chi, and your Negasonic, and then you have a lot of displacement in the Juggernaut, the Polaris, the Absorbing Man to some degree, but overall very cohesive list. I have very much enjoyed this. It has kind of revitalized me on Negasonic. And if you want to see more of this deck and any of the other decks that I showcase live, check us out on twitch.tv/TLSGsnap. I am probably live right now running this, or maybe a user suggested deck list, or any kind of crazy deck that I come up with. We're probably live running it right now, so jump over there and check it out. But with the brief deck explanation out of the way, we're going to go ahead and jump into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, first up we have Spinny Steve, and they snap off the jump. Spinny Steve, what do you have up your sleeve? You're not a Thanos list. I'm guessing probably Shuri. Shuri is still very, very strong right now. They're running Quinjet, so maybe not Shuri. We'll see. Interesting. Okay, so we get a Green Goblin from the camp. We have Lizard to help us gain initiative. And then we'll see. We have Polaris that can pull the Quinjet over and try and cap it out in some location. If they're running Quinjet, they probably have Hawk, Devil Dino, Moon Girl, and they're wanting to lean in on the more high-powered plays rather than Quinjet using like the low-cost Zoo, because that no longer works. I understand from a design standpoint it would be tough, but I can still be sad about the Moon Zoo. All right, so they play one of their Sentinels from the Quinjet. That's why they snapped, was the Quinjet into the Sentinel, because they're going to have the one cost resource that they can just flood across the board. So good to know that's why they were excited. Let's see. Let's hit them with the old Razzle Dazzle, yeah? I mean, we could do Zabu. Zabu would be fine. It'd make our Rock Slide 3 or Hawk 3. I think we're going to hit them with Green Goblin. We're going to try and cap out the Bifrost, so after turn 4, we want them to be completely capped. Yes, that will hurt our Lizard, but in the process, I think we can get a very specific amount of information so that we can try and find the best way to position our cards to find a way to win. And so the Bifrost, I mean, we could do like Juggernaut over here to make sure that they move a card. We could do Juggernaut here to make sure that if they play a big power like a Hawk here, it won't go all the way through. I think just instead, we're going to do a Rockslide. We're going to add that disruption as early as possible. I typically like to prioritize doing Rockslide whenever I can, or as early as I can, because those 2 extra rocks, not only are they power for your Hawk, which a lot of times that's the mentality that I get in, is that it's just for Hawk, but the disruption that it adds is pretty significant in certain games. So let's see how they fare. We do still have a Shang-Chi in our deck that maybe we lean in on if we draw it to destroy their Hawk and just counter it that way, even though we have a Hawk of our own. It just may not be the time or the place. So they do cap out the right lane with a Rockslide, with a Sentinel, and so they're gonna, they actually cap out the far right and mid because of that. Interesting call, Spinning Steve. Had they played into the Forge though, it would have sent them more Sentinels. It was a very tough play line to be in. So we do get an Absorbing Man. Part of me wants to go Absorbing Man to add additional rocks, but the other part wants to just go Sarah. Sarah is going to be good if we draw Negasonic. We won't have initiative, but she's going to be a 2/4, which is decent in this case. Hawk will be 3, Zabu will be 1, so we could do Hawk, Zabu, and then another card. Try to find a way to win. So if they have Arrow, Arrow could be disruptive. I don't know that this deck still runs Arrow. If they do, we're in a bit of trouble. But otherwise, I think we're relatively fine. We can do the Hawk, and it pulls the last card that we play. So, I mean, honestly, all we have to do is do something like this. We can do Polaris over here, a Zabu. So in their deck, they have 6, so this is going to be a 12 power play. A Nova would bring this up to 14. The 12 is going to be above that. As long as they don't do Arrow, then this would be above what they can gain anyways. And so if they have an Arrow, it's just going to pull our Zabu. And so we should be fine navigating it that way. Let's see. The Arrow nerf is coming in, unfortunately for them, not in the way that they want it to be. Had it been the old Arrow, they absolutely would have wiped the floor with us on this turn. But knowing that it can only play 1 card, we were still able to spread and position our power in a way that we're able to win. And so you're seeing the immediate effects of the Arrow not being as impactful, especially into a Sarah. It was a bold stay, but I respect them for doing it. They snapped on turn 1 and they stuck it out all the way until the end. So we're going to go ahead and take that win. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Ice Age. And we actually lost to Ice Age, not with this deck, mind you. We didn't lose with this deck yet. Or we haven't lost with this deck yet. We lost to them with one of our other decks, and I don't remember what they were running. I think it was a Sarah Tech deck, actually, which is fitting. And then we get the Sarah out off of Sakar, and so we're gonna snap into that. Having that extra just oomph is just so strong. We don't even really need to play here. We could just kind of slow play it, and then we just get insane value across the game in like a Rockslide, Absorbing Man, all of these crazy things that we could end up doing. We get the 1 cube retreat. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have a mod, or Mod. They're the one that ended up beating me when I said I'm going to play a little bit more aggressively, and then I did, and then they immediately slapped me down for 4 cubes. With 4 sunspots on the board. So let's see if we can take a few of our cubes back against them. They are running Thanos, so they have the Mind Stone. They're going to have several 1-cost cards that we're going to be able to blow up with our Killmonger. They no longer have a Leech. That is impressive. We're going to go ahead and play Lizard into mid. We don't want it to be within Shang-Chi range, so we're not going to play it into Nidavellir. And then we're looking for a high value in-game. So maybe a Rockslide. Maybe we end up doing a second Juggernaut with our Absorbing Man. A couple of different ways that we could play our in-game path. And then Limbo is actually not terrible for us if they let it stay that way. I don't know if they're going to let it stay that way or not, but if they do, very much appreciated. I'm going to do Juggernaut and Limbo. I think they play over there this turn. I think they don't want to cap out Nidavellir too much, and so we are going to hit their Lockjaw, hopefully into Nidavellir. Okay. Into Sokovia is not bad. It's 1 less rotation that they're going to have. And so now we can really, really start messing with them. We're going to play... Oh, wait. That's not what we want to do. We're going to play Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man is going to take the cards that they want to rotate in mid and keep them on the board. We're going to push them out of this lane. Most likely they're going to be 1-cost cards. And we do have our Nova and Killmonger. We know that they don't have a leech to lean in on. And so they snap back. We snap, they snap back immediately. Gonna get interesting really, really quickly. They have the Reality Stone. They haven't played it. They haven't rotated it. They haven't discarded it. So the Reality Stone... Oh, wait, they skip here. Oof. Scary. So does that mean a She-Hulk coming down? She-Hulk could very well be coming down. If it is, it's gonna be in limbo. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna say no thanks. We're gonna say no thanks to the She-Hulk. We could play Nova in the left lane, but we're gonna end up getting it. We're gonna end up destroying it with our Killmonger, so I don't necessarily want to play that there. Oh wait, is this the She-Hulk? We're gonna blow it up with Negasonic, right? Oh, it's the Vision. Goodbye, Vision. I'm guessing you did not have 2020 vision, because you did not see that coming, my friend. So how do we want to navigate this? They could Reality Stone the Limbo location, making it very tough, turning it into a potential loss. If they do one here and then do some power in mid, it's going to be very tough to find a win. I think we need to play our Hawk this turn. I just don't know where. They have 7 cards left in their deck. This is going to be a 14 power card. So maybe we push it into Nidavellir. It's going to be Shang-Chi target, regardless of where we play it. But that helps keep us and give us initiative. We could do a Shang-Chi and Killmonger on the last turn. If they float any big cards, if they change Limbo, then we're hoping to keep the left lane and mid in our favor. They do change Limbo, and so that's no longer there. How much do they soak? They play Devil Dino in the right lane, so that is not soaking enough with their Sunspot. We are going to take the left, take the middle, and we get the 8-cube win. We lost 4 to him earlier, and we immediately grabbed that back and doubled down. We are going to take the 8 cubes. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Tucker from Second Dinner. They were the game in the intro that was a tie, and so we had a push against them. Let's see if we can beat them this time around. They were running what looked like a Sauron, maybe Shuri deck, or maybe just Sauron ongoing card deck. And so we have switched... Was that this deck? I don't know if that was even this deck. I think so, but I've changed decks a few times tonight. So I think it was this deck. I think they're the one that we pushed against. Either way, we had a complete tie against them. They had the Lizard, the Red Skull, the Sauron, some of those pretty decent, pretty big plays. So we can get the lead in Asgard. We can then hide Negasonic there to make sure that we get the extra card draw. Either that or we do Juggernaut. And then we keep our Negasonic a secret. I kind of like that one. Ooh, wait. It's going to pull us over into the old asteroid belt, huh? That's tough. This is tough. Asteroid is not the location that I want when they have the lead on us in Asgard. Not what we want to see. Well, okay. It is what it is. So I'm curious. Every other card says that when it says here, so like Jessica Jones, it's the lane that it was played in, not necessarily where it's at. So I'm curious if they play into Asgard or if we play into Asgard, if it ends up destroying the card. I'm curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Let's play the Hawk in the left lane. It's going to pull it over into the asteroid belt, but I think that's our only safe play. We're also going to... Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It's gonna be a secret. They're not gonna know it's happening. we can play Asteroid unless the animation's wrong. You see her glowing. She's about to blow up. Unless the animation's wrong, it's saying that the next card played in Asgard is going to get destroyed. We'll see. We'll see if that's how it works. So Darkhawk is gonna pull over. Oh no! It lied to me. The animation lied to me. Unfortunate. Super unfortunate. They do have Shuri, so they're running the Sauron Shuri deck. Surely you wouldn't do that to us, friend. Surely not. Let's hit them with the old razzle dazzle, shall we? We're going to do the rock slide, which goes whoop and pulls straight into mid. Nothing we can do about it. All of our cards are just going to get yanked straight into the asteroid. Just straight into the asteroid belt. Nothing we can do to stop it, unfortunately. We're going to lock in the rock slide to the right. If we now, in Grand Central, it was kind of unfortunate that they played it over there. If we now pull into Shang-Chi, beautiful, beautiful value. Immediate gratification. They can no longer do a Taskmaster. They can no longer copy that card's power. Just super unfortunate for them. Oh no. I guess we're going to do something like super strange. We're going to do Juggernaut in the left lane. Killmonger doesn't matter where. We'll just do it in mid. Because it's going to get yanked in mid. This is the only power we can have here. We're going to take care of their Ebony Maw, but we can't let them play anything else here, and we can't let them overpower whatever we have in this lane. So we'll see. We'll see if that's enough. The Shang-Chi, oh, the Kang. Dang, the Kang. Running the Sauron and the Kang. And so we are going to destroy that left lane. Do they have a way to overcome that? Making sure that this does not have any power. Can they overcome 19 power in mid? That's a tall order, especially since you can't Taskmaster now. Definitely a tall order. And just for giggles, I was going to play Killmonger to the right, and in case they had a Cosmo that they played in mid, we're going to play Killmonger to the right. But it looks like we didn't have to. They ended up retreating with the Kang. They got a little bit of insight, and we get our revenge against Tucker. Very well played. We will take the 2 cubes. Go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Thanos, who is pretending to be a gato or a cat. The first location is Nidavellir, so we're going to be safe to play our Zabu there, our Absorbing Man, and maybe a few other cards. As long as they don't hit us with a leech, we should have a distinct advantage. Asteroid is actively bad for this list. 8 out of the 12 cards fall into a 3 or 4 cost range, so they all get yanked into mid. Super unfortunate, but it is what it is. Maybe we play Lizard into mid, giving ourselves kind of some flexibility so it's not going to yank our cards, and maybe they destroy it for us. We can be wishful. We can hope wishfully. We're also going to be looking for our Killmonger. Okay, so Throne Room cards here with the highest power will be doubled. Let's go ahead and play Lizard into... we're going to play Polaris into mid. We're going to pull their stone into that location. Not because we have to, not because we expect it to stay there for the rest of the game, but just for the giggles. They do use space... they use Space Stone so they can move a card over into this lane after this turn, but unfortunately, they used a Carnage. They destroyed those cards. If this is a Galactus version of Thanos, they may have us. They may have us just bombarded and beaten and behooved. Not behooved. I've been using that wrong, by the way. I've learned that does not mean confused. Like I thought it did. But we're going to play our rock slide in the right lane. It's going to yank over and to add the asteroid M. Deathlock comes down in the left lane. That is good Shang-Chi bait. Wait. Oh, wait, no. It's going to pull over, so that's fine. And then Time Stone. So they have 6 energy this turn. They could be angling for Galactus. They could Galactus on us. They have initiative. They could Galactus. It feels so bad. So maybe we do Absorbing Man, and then after that we could maybe set up, like, I don't know. We would have initiative, which also feels bad. I'm going to do Absorbing Man. We're going to do Lizard. Next turn, we could maybe do Killmonger and Negasonic as our last card drop. If this is Galactus, it is the Null. No way, bro. Didn't see that one coming. So the Absorbing Man's going to give them some extra power there. We didn't end up playing our Lizard into the right lane because I want to keep it space clear if we end up needing it. We do know that that lane is going to get capped out. So how do we win? How do we win from here? They haven't destroyed many cards. They could do an Arnim Zola on the Null, which is not huge. They could do it on the Time Stone, which actually makes more sense. Let's do Negasonic's also kind of scary for us because it's going to... So what we're going to... we'll see. If it's an Arnim Zola, we are going to play our Juggernaut, followed by Negasonic in Nidavellir. We're hoping that the 3 power in the Asteroid M is enough. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they're going to Arnim Zola, and they would do it maybe here. I don't know. We're going to stop overthinking it. Asteroid M makes this really tough to position our cards how we want to. But we still have some flexibility and utility that we can still make it happen in most games. So we're going to yank all the cards in Nidavellir over into the throne room. Unfortunately, I don't think that's great for us because they also played a card into Asteroid M. And so I don't know. Ooh, the Shang-Chi comes down. Okay, that's huge. They were going to kill our left lane, but they end up killing our right lane instead. And so it stacks with the null. Oh, that is enough. Oh, no. We could have won that one. That one was a tricky one. Had we played Negasonic in mid, we could have played Juggernaut first and then Negasonic. That would have resulted in the mid lane being in our favor. But there was no way for us to know that they were going to flood that many cards. Like, I didn't anticipate that play line to come down. So, unfortunately, we do get the loss there. Let's go ahead and take it. We will jump over into the next one. Negasonic, you were so close, but so far away. All right, the competition pool is rather small, apparently, because we are going against Ice Age again. That's only the second time while I've been running this list, but the third time overall. And so, in a relatively short span of time. The Superflow comes down. They do skip one turn. Actually, no, this may be the 4th time. I think they retreated out whenever we pulled into Sarah in the Scar lane. So let's go ahead and we'll play Polaris into the Unknown. We currently have the lead. Polaris should, as long as this is not a bad location, should allow us to maintain initiative, maintain the lead going into the last turn. They do play a very early Killmonger, which is kind of interesting to see. The Collapse Mine is also kind of interesting to see. Instead of skipping, we could just do Killmonger. That way, they probably skip here. Clear up this one. I think we're going to Killmonger. I don't know that they run a Hood and a Demon. If they do, they play the Demon into Washington, D.C. We try to angle it so it gets pushed out with Juggernaut. I don't know. That's a very specific read, but they do skip. They do waste this turn, and we go ahead and clear the rocks anyways. As long as they're still running their Sarah Tech deck and not like a Death Wave, we should be okay. I hope. Let's go ahead and play. Let's play Hawk into the left lane. We're gonna throw Hawk over there. We have our Negasonic. We have Juggernaut. If we think a Shang-Chi is on its way, we can push it out of the Hawk lane on 5, and then kind of play from there. So the Sentinel comes down. We're okay with the Sentinel. The Nova comes down. So they've already used Killmonger. Do they keep another destruction trigger? I don't know that they do. Juggernaut. I mean, the Juggernaut there is looking pretty enticing. Let's do the Juggernaut into Collapse Mine. I think they might reinforce this lane, or they might just play like a Sentinel and something else. Maybe they just do a Sarah. They could just play Sarah into Washington, D.C. That's probably where I would play it. Not into the Superflow, not into Collapse Mine because it's a little too close being capped out. I would play my Sarah into Washington, D.C. if that's the line that I was leaning in on. And also, our Hawk is safe and sound under that 9 power range. We don't have to worry about a Shang-Chi. They play 4 cards, one being Mysterio, so they now have 2 Mysterios into mid. Ooh, they do play the Shang-Chi. Interesting. Maybe they didn't realize that our Hawk, good sir, you've drawn enough cards. He's not massive. Maybe they were hoping that we ended up playing a rockslide last turn. So we keep initiative. We keep the lead here. Let's do a rockslide in the left lane. They've already played their Shang-Chi. And then we're going to do a Negasonic in the right lane. That should keep us in the lead here. Should allow us to stay in the lead in the right lane as well. And it's always nice to have a surprise Negasonic drop. Hopefully, I mean, is it bad to say that hopefully she blows up? I feel like that's inappropriate to say. Wow, they played 1 card. If it is Arrow, that is the... Oh, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is a pretty big one. it had a chance to try to find a way to win. The rockslide plus Hawk in the left lane was a little bit too much, even though they got the extra value from the Doombot in the left lane, plus the real Mysterio was over there. No, their fake Mysterio was over there, which is why it gained +3 from Washington, D.C. Very high-powered lane, but we were able to pull it off. Even without Negasonic there, we would have been okay. We didn't need the extra 5 here. It's fun to have it happen. And so with that one, we are going to go ahead and end the video here. And just for those records, I started keeping tabs on these. While recording, I went 7-2, so a little bit over a 70% win rate. We had a net gain of 18 cubes over those 9 games. So overall, very successful with the list. Definitely if you have Hawk and for some reason have Negasonic, but I feel like this is probably one of the best fits for her. It has answers to a lot of plays. It doesn't lean all the way in on Negasonic, but there are a lot of turns where you can get value and you can find a way to play her onto the board alongside a rockslide, alongside a Hawk on the last turn to really get a lot of value. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. And as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.